We are in the first week of September, which means that Hollywood blockbuster season is officially over. And I thought, hey, why don't we just kind of, look back at the last couple months, maybe do a tier list and some of the big blockbusters, the big movies that came out this summer, and see where they rank. I didn't get a chance to see everything, so if there's a movie that didn't, show up in today's list, it's probably because I didn't see it. So, movies like Bad Boys or Garfield, there are movies I did not see. So if there's any movies you watch that are not in my list, it's probably because I didn't see it. I'm also going to try and refrain from doing like really small independent films that came out this summer. I kind of just want to focus on like the big boys, the big heavy hitters of the summer. So I probably won't be mentioning Oddity or Strange Darling, even though I thought both of those movies were fantastic. But yeah, we're just going to talk about the heavy hitters today. So I'm not going to go in any order here. We're just going to kind of pick and choose. So let's just jump into it. All right, let's start with Twisters. Yeah, Twisters. I don't know. I was like really hyped on this movie. It was kind of like one of my most anticipated movies of the summer. I really liked the first movie. I watched the hell out of that when I was a kid. So I was really looking forward to Twisters, but to be honest, I didn't love it. I mean, I think it's fine. I just hated that like they straight up like took scenes from Twister, like almost beat for beat. I thought that was kind of annoying. But Glenn Powell's great. The acting is great. It didn't have that big punch, that big oomph, that summer, feel good, awesome roller coaster ride movie feel that I thought it was going to have. It was just kind of like, meh, it was okay. So that was kind of a big disappointment. So, we're going to give Twisters a C. Sorry, Twisters. What are we going to jump into next? Let's do Deadpool Wolverine, the biggest movie of the summer, arguably. Although I don't even know if you can argue that. I mean, this was the biggest movie of the summer. This movie surprised me. I was not, looking forward to this movie. I've kind of checked out when it comes to Marvel, so I was just like, all right, whatever, another fucking Marvel movie. But I enjoyed this one. I thought it was really funny. There are some problems I have with it, but for the most part, I thought it was a good time. I thought it was just going to be another run-of-the-mill fucking Marvel schlock, but no, it was pretty fun. It surprised me. Hugh Jackman, man. That scene in the car when he's chewing out Deadpool, it's like you're reminded of how good fucking Hugh Jackman is. Obviously, their chemistry was off the charts. I went and saw it a second time. I didn't love it as much as the first time, but I still think it's a solid movie. And yeah, probably one of the better Marvel movies that have come out in recent years. So we're going to give Deadpool Wolverine a B. I don't think it's quite A. I don't think it's quite A material. So we're gonna drop it in B. Let's do Furiosa. This was my most anticipated movie of the year. It was number one. I'm a huge fan of Fury Road, and yeah, I love this movie. I thought it was fucking awesome. Obviously, it's not Mad Max Fury Road. It's funny because the first time I watched it, I went and saw an IMAX, and when I walked out, I was a little disappointed because it was just so different than I thought it was going to be. It's so different from Fury Road. And then when I went back and watched it a second time, I think I went and saw it Friday night, went back Saturday night, watched it again. I liked it a lot more the second time. I appreciate it more for what it was the second time. But yeah. Amazing set pieces. Yeah, it's a little CG heavy, but actually it's interesting because I think a lot of the cinematography, like it seems like there's a lot of CGI and there is, but there's actually a lot more practical than I thought there was. It looked really fake the first time, but the second time I was kind of paying closer attention. I'm like, oh, there's actually more practical effects than I thought there were the first time. But yeah, great performance from Anya Taylor-Joy. Chris Hemsworth was fucking amazing. Yeah, just a great overall awesome, return to the mind of George Miller. I love this movie. I know some people didn't like it as much, but I, for one, dug the hell out of this thing. And we're giving Furiosa a fat old A. Good job. Good job, George Miller. Welcome back, baby. I can't believe he's like fucking 97 and he made this movie. I think he's like actually 88, but yeah, love Furiosa. Let's do Maxine. Yes, Maxine. Mia Goth. Yeah, dude, Mia Goth is so good. She got robbed. I don't know. It bugs me that the Academy doesn't recognize, horror, the genre horror genre. Her performance in Pearl was just better than anything I saw last year. Well, Emma Stone was pretty good in Poor Things, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought that she got robbed, and she's great here. I don't think this is as good of a performance as she was in Pearl, but it's still a good performance. I do think that Maxine is the weakest of the three. I would probably go Pearl, X, and then Maxine. I was a little disappointed on this one. I really like X and Pearl. I think they're fantastic horror films. This one didn't quite do it for me. I didn't vibe with the direction that T. West went with this one. I mean, it was okay. It really falls apart in like the last 20 minutes. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why are we doing this? But it's still solid. It's just not as good as what came before it. Unfortunately, we're going to give Maxine a C. Sorry, Maxine. I just don't think it's as good as, the other two. It's fine. We'll stick with horror. We'll do Longlegs. Yeah, Nicolas Cage, Osgood Perkins. I love this movie. I fucking loved this movie. I went and saw it twice. I love every second of this movie. I love the vibe. I love Nicolas Cage in this movie. I love the mood and atmosphere. I think the mood and atmosphere is actually what carries this movie, because the plot is like, it's fine, but just that mood and atmosphere that you're kind of sucked into and you're forced to be in for an hour and 45 minutes. It's creepy. It's kind of unsettling in moments. I wouldn't say it's scary. This isn't a scary film, but it's very very atmospheric. I love this kind of stuff. I love me some Silence of the Lambs. I love me Hannibal, Seven. I think this, fits alongside all of those films, Zodiac. But yeah, I love Longlegs. I don't know if it's S tier territory, but we're going to stick it right next to Furiosa in the A. Easily one of my favorite films of the year. All right, we made it. Good God, that file was huge. The Fall Guy. This is a movie that I actually did not review on my channel. I had every intention to, but scheduling got in the way. I kind of just, moved past it. But I dug The Fall Guy. I think it's a really fun action comedy. Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt's, chemistry was freaking incredible. Very charming movie. Good action set pieces. I do think the movie kind of outstays its welcome. I think that climax goes on for way too long. But yeah, Ryan Gosling is the best. He is so fucking funny. I'm glad he's doing comedies, good comedies. Emily Blunt's fantastic. Yeah, this is just an all-around fun time at the theater. And a good way to open up the summer blockbuster season. I mean, that says right there in the poster, May 3rd. This one kicked everything off, and what a way to start. It was a lot of fun, really funny. It's a pretty good time. Pretty good time, that Fall Guy. We're gonna go B. We're gonna go B right next to Deadpool Wolverine. Let's do A Quiet Place, Day 1. So this movie, I don't know. I wasn't really all that hyped on it. And it was okay. This is kind of like, nothing about this movie really did it for me. There's some good performances, but none of the set pieces I thought were really thrilling. I was never on the edge of my seat. Yeah, this one was just kind of washed over me. I kind of forgot it even came out this year. It's solid. It's fine. It's not a bad movie by any means. It's just one of those movies where it's it's kind of entertaining when you watch it, but by the next day you forgot you ever saw it. I did not dig this one too much. We're gonna give this one, I don't think it's quite a D. That's a little too harsh. So we're gonna keep it in C. All right, next up is Shyamalan's Trap. Josh Hartnett is back, baby. The Josh Hartnett is upon us. Josh Hartnett is great in this movie. It's not a very good movie per se. Definitely not one of Shyamalan's best. It was fine, I guess. I expected it to be better. I thought it was a cool concept. But overall, I don't know. It was just okay. The one thing that I like about it is A, it's original, but B, it's like it reminded me of like the thrillers that we used to get a lot of back in like the early 2000s, late 90s. It's kind of like a small budget thriller, hour and a half long thriller movies. We don't really get those anymore these days. A lot of them just kind of go to Netflix, which is, I guess, fine. But we don't really get them in theaters a lot. And so I kind of felt like, Trap kind of filled that void of like that mid-budget thriller movie, even though I didn't think it was very good. It was just kind of refreshing to see, a movie like this. That being said, this one's a big old D. Yeah, didn't quite dig the Trap. Other than Hartnett's performance, this one was extremely forgettable. All right, let's do some Kevin Costner Horizon, his 3-hour Western epic that did not do well at the box office. In fact, I think I read earlier that the second movie that they had planned coming out to theaters is no longer coming to theaters officially. I think they announced it pretty early on after release, but I think it's official now that they are not releasing the second movie in theaters, which makes sense. I mean, the movie completely bombed. And the movie, I was not expecting much, and it was okay. It was all right. I thought I was going to hate it. I thought I was going to be falling asleep and, booing, boo. But, it was fine. It's not great, but, it was better than I thought. It's long as fuck, and there's too much going on, too many characters, but, I'll show up for the second movie. Where some pretty good performances, some pretty good cinematography. But, yeah. Overall, I guess I was just surprised. I don't want to say how much I liked it, because I didn't like it that much. I just thought it was better than I thought it was going to be. So yeah. That being said, let's put Horizon. We're gonna give Costner some love today. We're gonna put Horizon right there in that C. Next up, we'll do some Inside Out. Pixar is back, baby. Yeah, this one was fun. Not as good as the first one, but still some good laughs, good story, good emotional story. I don't think it's as emotional as the first one. I think I cry like fucking 18 times every time I watch Inside Out. This one didn't quite get me, but the introduction of, was it Anxiety? Sorry, I'm trying to go back to June 14th when I watched it. But yeah, I think it's Anxiety. Was a great addition. Yeah. Some great stuff. It was a return to form for Inside Out. Not one of their best, but, pretty solid. Pretty solid little Pixar flick. We're going to give Inside Out a big old B, baby. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. For Caesar! Yeah, I love this franchise. If you follow my channel, you'll see, or if you just want to know, I actually went and reviewed all of the older movies. I didn't touch the Caesar trilogy. I went and did all like the old ones, like Charlton Heston and all the ones from the 70s or 60s and 70s. So yeah, I was pretty hyped on Kingdom. I really, really love the Caesar trilogy. I think that's like one of the most underrated trilogies of all time. So yeah, I was pretty hyped for Kingdom and did not disappoint. I fucking loved this movie. I thought it was amazing. Dude, it's so crazy to me that like I'll watch a Marvel movie or a DC movie or just an effects heavy movie and I'm just like, ooh, that doesn't look too good. And then I see something like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and I'm like, I'm convinced I'm looking at talking apes on the big screen. Like that is a fucking talking ape I'm watching. Like the special effects is so good in these movies. Not just this one, but the ones before it that came before it. But yeah, the story was good. I love the climax. The climax is like, it's fun and intense, but it's like subdued in a lot of ways, which I'm glad. There's no like fucking massive explosions and crazy shenanigans happening. It's just kind of like a fun little, not as extravagant action scene that we're used to seeing. But yeah, I love this movie. I thought it sucks that not a lot of people went and saw it or even talk about it, but this is one of my favorite movies of the summer. We're giving an A to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That movie was awesome. The Bike Riders. Yeah, this one was pretty damn solid. Great performance from Tom Hardy, Austin Butler, and especially Jodie Comer. Holy shit, she was amazing in this movie. I was not expecting her to to be like one of my favorites walking out of the film. I was like, holy shit, she was incredible. I was actually surprised at how little Austin Butler is in the movie. From what I can recall, I remember like walking out and being like, damn, he wasn't in that movie as much as I thought. Tom Hardy is incredible as always. He's always that raw. He has that raw, fucking unhinged, vicious performance that he always gives. But he's incredible. But yeah, it's a solid movie. I think I said in my review that it felt like, you know, the first hour or so felt very Goodfellas-y, not in terms of quality, I just mean in terms of how it's filmed. A lot of like voiceover, narration, you know, has a fast pace. There's a soundtrack to every scene. Yeah, it felt very Goodfellas inspired. And but then the second half kind of slows down and becomes more dramatic, and I dig that. But yeah, Bike Riders is great. If you haven't got a chance to see Bike Riders yet, I highly recommend this one. It's pretty damn good. We're gonna give Bike Riders a B. B for Bike Riders. All right, we're kind of running out here. What do we got left? But I think we only have one left. Yeah, we got one left. All right, here we go. Last one. Alien fucking Romulus, baby. Yeah, this movie was fantastic. Went and saw it twice. Great IMAX experience. So fun. Yeah, I thought this movie was a joy. I didn't quite... Well, I don't know. I think I dug it the second. I'm trying to remember if I liked it more or less the second time, but... all I know is that the first fucking hour of this movie is just bananas and it's insane. It's one of those movies that it feels like you're on a roller coaster. It's like one thing happens and another thing, and things keep escalating and escalating. I do think, okay, sorry, it's all coming back to me. I do think the second half of the movie where it becomes kind of action-y, I lost a little bit of interest. I preferred that thriller tone in the first, hour of the movie, which is like the first hour of the movie, the movie puts characters in situations and you're tense. You don't know how they're going to get out of it. Multiple scenes like that. But then once people start shooting aliens and there's fucking, it just becomes an action movie. It becomes less interesting. But overall, fun movie. I was not expecting it to be as good as it was. This one's tricky. Man. I think I'm gonna go B with Alien Romulus. We're gonna go B. All right, let me double check my movies here, but I think that's everything. Yeah, but like I said, there's probably some missing here. Some of the stuff I didn't see. I didn't see The Watchers. Like I said, I didn't see Bad Boys. Trying to think if there's anything else that I missed. These were kind of the heavy hitters of the summer, which looking at this list, it's not very robust. Looking at last year, last year we had we had a new Indiana Jones, Across the Spider-Verse, Transformers, Fast and the Furious, Mission Impossible, Oppenheimer, Barbie, Ninja Turtles. Yeah, that was a way heavier summer than this year. This year was pretty tame. All right, so before I leave, let me do some shout-outs. Some movies I didn't quite cover here that maybe a little bit smaller, but I kind of, like I said, I just wanted to focus on the big heavy hitters. In a Violent Nature, thought that was a great horror film. It's pretty fucking wild. Hitman on Netflix was pretty fun. It's a good Glenn Powell comedy, thriller movie. Kinds of Kindness, great movie with Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons from the director of Poor Things, Yorgos Lanthimos. And then, like I said earlier, Oddity. That's probably the scariest movie I've seen this year. If you're looking for an actual scary movie, look no further than Oddity. Cuckoo was a pretty fun horror film from Neon, if I'm not mistaken, with Hunter Schafer. It's a pretty fucking wild horror film. So yeah, horror is killing it this year, man. I should do a horror tier list because goddamn, this is probably the best year for horror, like maybe ever. Strange Darling, which as of now is my favorite movie of the year, not just the summer, but the entire year. If you have not seen Strange Darling, that needs to be at the top of your list. If it's playing anywhere near you, you should be fucking running to your car and going to see it. Strange Darling is fucking incredible. It is a masterpiece. And that's kind of it. So yeah, that's my tier list of the summer movies. Let me know what you thought. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments below. And until the next time, I will see you on the next one.